Hello and welcome back to Fist Entertainment for my review of 1973's Live and Let Die, which is part of the James Bond collection on Blu-ray disc. And we talk about the plot of the film, the rules opinion of the film, my opinion of the film, talking about the quality of the Blu-ray, and get the film a ranking. When James Bond, Roger Moore, investigates the murders of 3 fellow agents, he finds himself a target invading various assassins as he closes in on powerful Kananga. Known on the streets as Mr. Big, Kananga is conducting a global threat using tons of self-produced heroin. As Bond tries to unravel the mastermind's plan, he meets Solitaire, a beautiful tarot card reader whose magic is crucial to the crime lord. All right. Live and Let Die. Well, the world really loves this movie. In fact, a lot of people in the Bond community consider Live and Let Die Roger Moore's best James Bond movie. Now, I wouldn't exactly go as far as to say that it is. One thing that the world and me both agree on, though, is that Live and Let Die did save the James Bond franchise after the disastrous Diamonds Are Forever. It did introduce the world to a new James Bond. And in my opinion, the second most iconic James Bond. I didn't say the best. I said the second most iconic James Bond. Because there's really only 2 iconic James Bonds, let's be perfectly honest. And no, Sean Connery's not one of them. You'll understand when I get to the end of the franchise. And technically, I would say there's 3 iconic James Bonds that people really think about. And Sean Connery's not one of them. All right, my opinion of the film. First, let me go ahead and clear the air on this. Everybody looks at Roger Moore as if he is the comedic, the campy, the hokey, the fun, comedic for 2 of this James Bond. Well, I have no idea what you're talking about. I really don't. I don't. Because he became all those things. But the thing you guys are not asking yourself is, when did he do that? Well, he didn't do it in this movie. He didn't do it in quite a few of his films. It didn't happen until much later that he did that. And people often don't not talk about that. I have no problem talking about that. In a lot of ways, in this particular film, Live and Let Die, Roger Moore is quite literally as dark as Sean Connery was in Dr. No and From Russia with Love, if not even more dark and sociopathic than Sean Connery was in those 2 films. And those were quite literally the last 2 films. He kind of does bring that back a little bit, only twice, but he is a goof. Not in a bad way, in a very good way, but he is a goof in Goldfinger and Thunderball. It took Roger Moore, quite literally, most of his Tinder as James Bond to become a goof. So, like I said, I did not understand you when everybody says he's been a goofball the entire time. He was not. What I like about Live and Let Die is Live and Let Die really does go ahead and go to like that gothicness with action adventure. Just a little bit of fantasy in there. And it does it so well. I mean, you have the whole voodoo thing. You have snakes, you have crocodiles. You have this almost gothic to a point where it's almost like James Bond movies become an action, but also kind of horror film in some ways, because there's some supernatural elements and horror kind of put into this film as well. It's subtext, but it's there, and that's really, really cool. I also like the bit of fantasy with the whole idea that Solitaire's powers actually come from virginality, of not ever having sex with a man, and when she has sex with a man, her ability to, you know, foretell things goes away. I like that element. I like the fantasy character known as Baron Sanity, although we find out it's actually all just a made up thing. But I like that because it's really elevates and makes it a whole big different type of James Bond movie altogether. I do like Roger Moore in this particular film. He is awesome. And one thing I found really fun about the film is how they play against Connery in this movie. See, they didn't do what they did with George Lazenby by trying to make George Lazenby play like a, you know, a homage to Sean Connery. With Roger Moore, they're like, nope, we do not want you to homage to Sean Connery. We want you to be different from Sean Connery. And they definitely played against that. Like, for example, as you know this, he does not drink, is his normal drink, vodka martini shaken not stirred in this movie. Which is very interesting, considering the fact that I'm actually reading Thunderball, and the last time I checked in the book Thunderball, James Bond's actual drink is whiskey and Coke. And so they kind of go with that because his drink is actually bourbon with a splash of water. You have to listen very closely to figure out what it is, because he usually says bourbon no ice, but what he means is bourbon with a splash of water. Which kind of makes you think, were they thinking about the novels with this a little bit too much when it comes to his alcoholic beverage? Don't really know. But very, very interesting. Now let's talk about the picture quality and audio quality. Considering the history of this on physical media, I find it very, very, very interesting that that this actually has a really hardcore and very solid and very dramatic DTS HD Master audio sound presentation on the film. I wasn't expecting that, but it's there. And as for the picture, definitely a really well done 4K restoration on this film. And this is the first time that we have watched a James Bond movie in 1.85. See, the first three were in 1.66, which means you have little bars like on the sides, like right about there, kind of going down. But this one fills the entire screen. And it's one of the two films that do that. All the other films are in 2.35, which means you have big bars on top and bottom of the screen, which is very interesting. Well, a ranking. I give Live and Let Die a solid 4 stars. I really do like this one. I really do like Live and Let Die. It gets a perfect score from me. And that's all there is to say about Live and Let Die. I hope you enjoyed. Please check out all 8 of the James Bond films I have reviewed so far. They are definitely worth your time and definitely fun. And I will see you guys for the next 4 reviews. Until then, I hope you guys have a good pleasant evening.